for things that need to come out of the mine. Obviously, the ore comes out in an ore car, but you know what those pasties become after they've been digested? We've got a special car for that too, okay? That one's called a honey pot. And that has to be hauled up and cleaned out by some poor schmuck all the time. But a lot of those honey pots had 2 seats on top. Because I guess you gotta like have a buddy right next to you while you're doing your business or something. They even had 6 top honey pots in some of the mines. So you and 5 of your friends could have a real bonding experience. That could be good for the band, I think.
5 people, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Some options I'll talk about as we walk a little deeper. In terms of getting air down to the guys, one option is if you have a mine shaft you're not using that you connect to the rest of your mine shafts, you can put a fan on top of that. That fan blowing up is going to suck air into your main shaft and create ventilation networks between the various drifts. The other option is to send air down in a canvas tube using a pump at the top of the surface. Those canvas tubes would run right along your compressed air line, and the miners would just cut a hole in that canvas tube, let that cool mountain air breathe down in, doubling as air conditioning and oxygen supply. This right here is at 65 foot. We're going to conclude the tour up there. Right now we're going to continue down to the 100-foot level. When I send you guys back up from the 100, I want you to wait on this side of the gate right here for me, okay? So whoever's in the back, if you could close this gate as we go through, and then we'll bring you guys all on down this way. Okay, as we descend, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Butte as a great American baseball city, okay? Butte never gets enough credit for being a great American baseball city because it never had a major league team, but it did have a minor league.
Okay.
Nobody?
Okay.
Come on. All right. They really did have a minor league. The different mines competed against each other. So the Anselmo had a team. The Orphan Girl had a team.
I just got it.
You just got it. Good. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, and they actually competed against each other. The best players were actually paid not to have to mine until the fall. They could spend all summer just playing baseball. And so we end up with some really good players here in Butte. They actually put together special teams of the best players in Butte and had expo games with some of the major league teams that were coming through on tour. Okay? So there is a time when the Butte Miners actually beat the New York Yankees.
No way.
Yes, absolutely. And this town went absolutely crazy when it happened. All right, we're going to gather up right down here. A couple things to watch out for. Tall people, there's an orange rock bolt that's a little low right here. Watch that with your helmet. And then over here on the left-hand side, if you're trying to dodge this mud, first of all, good luck. Second of all, watch out for this valve that you don't hit your shoulder on it.
Yeah, good luck to me.
It's mud from here on out. You guys are just going to have to get used to it. It will wash off your shoes pretty easy. So we're all going to like kind of gather around in a half circle like right here to fit everybody in. Yep, right through there. And I'm going to stand right here. Yeah, make sure everybody can get down here and everybody can see. It's a lot of people, so we're going to have to get cozy.
Especially at this cold. Fine.
Okay. All right. Let's finish that extraction process. So far we did our drilling, our blasting, our bar down, our cribbing. It's now safe to go into what we've just blasted apart and to muck it out. That's what we call cleaning out the mine. We call it muck because miners called blasted apart rock like this muck. So get rid of the muck. We call it mucking out the mine. One option for mucking out the mine is hand mucking. It's about the worst job you could have ended up having in Butte. You're just picking that muck up and putting it into the ore car. Unfortunately, the reality of the history is they made a lot of the Eastern Europeans do that work. But if you had skilled miners, you're not going to catch them hand mucking. They're going to use some kind of mucking machine. I've got one of those mucking machines back here. This is my all-time favorite mining tool. It's called an overshot mucker. It is like a hybrid between a front-end loader and a catapult. Okay? So yeah, this bucket's gonna swing all the way down in front of this device. You're gonna hook this up to the compressed air. That's gonna allow you to drive it back and forth on the mine track. You're gonna slam it into that muck pile, fill up that bucket, and then pull a lever that releases all that compressed air tension, and this thing's gonna come flying up in a split second, throwing that ore through the air into the ore car. These would actually go off with so much force they could hop up in the air, completely airborne. They could derail themselves, at which point you reset the bucket and bunny hop it back onto your tracks. Watch a YouTube video of these things. They're like vicious little beasts, okay? They're terrifying. But they're very cool, and I want to be able to run this one at some point. But we'll see. Maybe it's worth losing the job to come sneak down here and be operational. Yeah, the next thing, we're going to end up with a full ore car at this point, okay? Now this is a 1.5 ton ore car. It's a little bit bigger than usual, but it is possible for a single man to push it on toward the shaft station as long as it's on the mine track, okay? It's also possible for a married man to push it to the shaft station, but good luck finding a wife in Butte. All right. We're going to get this to the shaft station one way or another. Who wants to push around 8th, right? It's pretty hard to actually get something done.
But don't your eyes like sort of get used to the low amount of light?
They would adjust a little bit. Yeah.
But not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much, okay? Now, one of the main things going on while we're working down here is we're using hand tools, okay? So, one of us is going to be holding this tool steel. The other one's swinging a hammer at it. Would you guys rather hold the tool steel or swing the hammer?
Swing the hammer.
You guys all want to swing the hammer, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to hold the tool steel, but I'm going to have to use both hands, so I either need to stick this candle up on my helmet to balance it, or stick it into a crack in the rock. So what are you aiming at?
The shadow.
So what way would do in Butte to make this possible is I'm going to put my thumb over the end like that.
No.
And that little glint of light on my thumbnail is now your target. I am going to leave my thumb there until you start swinging the hammer, at which point I'm going to move the thumb out of the way before you make contact. Okay? So, the way we do this without losing our thumbs is we work with a very steady rhythm. So as long as we stay on beat, we keep our thumbs, all right? Now we've got a rhythm going. We've got people from all over the world. Of course, we've got the Irish down here. You could bet they're singing some songs. It probably would have been a little bit like that folk festival underground. You know, we got people from all over the world, those different musical traditions. And of course, we've got some hot, sweaty men. We've got candlelight. It's quite a romantic scene singing those songs down there. And the mules, yeah, you got to get the mules into the mix. Get the mules into the mix for sure. All right. All right, so we are going to also, if we're mining with hand tools, typically going to take turns though. Okay, so that's the other reason we don't lose our thumbs, because if you got a little too close for comfort with your hammer swinging, I get my chance to take my revenge out, okay? But I wouldn't do that to you guys because you guys are too nice. I'm not nice though, so please leave your headlamps off. Site, that is one of the main ores that is a manganese ore, and manganese is used in the hardening of steel and other industrial applications. I've got another vein of manganese right here. That is a fissure displacement, so a crack in the rock filled up with manganese-rich water and it turned into rhodochrosite. The other vein is this bluish-gray stuff right here. That is called galena, and that galena is a lead ore. So it's lead sulfide. As you mine that galena, you're going to find you're going to find deposits of silver and zinc mixed in with it. So that's the main thing we're hunting in the Orphan Girl. This is not a copper mine, unlike most Butte mines. It's a silver mine that also mined lead, manganese, and zinc. Okay, we're going to head down to the 100-foot shaft station now. I want to point out a little thing off here to the right as you walk by. We've got a hoist going up the rise, and up at the top of the rise, you'll see what looks like a little room. That little room is what we call a stope. So after we've mined out our drift, we're going to go back in and stope it out. We're finding the ore we left behind. We're blasting underneath it, trying to get that ore to fall down a chute like this into the ore car. We're using gravity to do the work for us in the stope. Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis. That's right. Okay, we'll get everybody around the corner into this, just this first section for right now.
Yeah, wood's fresh.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain. We just finished our finishing this rehab right now as we speak. Hand side is that chippy compartment that was added in 1937. When they added that compartment, they had to widen the shaft, and so they would have re-timbered this shaft station in 1937. Up until a couple months ago, those timbers that they put down here in 37 were the only thing holding this shaft station from collapsing in on itself. Okay, those old timbers, they were bowed out from all the weight that they were holding. They were coated in arsenic and they were rotting in places. So we decided this year to make the museum a little safer for our patrons. We tore out those old timbers. We put in modern ground support. So you've got those rock bolts I was telling you about. You've got this steel bands, and then you've got these long pieces of rebar. This pink one is actually 12 feet long. It's called a Dewey dag. They stick it up there with epoxy resin. That epoxy resin is going to harden as you bolt that together. It's creating compression of all that rock above, turning that into a structural beam. With all this modern ground support, we no longer need any timber cribbing, but we're a historic museum, so we want to put it back the way we found it. Okay, so we're going to put these in basically to the exact same specs of what was down here before, and right now it essentially looks just like it would have when they re-timbered it in 1937. Step in this direction and get out of there. So we each take a turn and do that. Hold onto your helmet though as you look over there. If your helmet were to go over the side, there is no way to retrieve it. Same goes for your phone or whatever else you got.
How many feet did you say?
It's only about 10 feet down to the water level. Can you see it down there?
But then that water is 2,600 feet deep.
2,600 feet deep of water. Yep. Could you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
The water is like what? From aquifers? What is it?
From the groundwater, so from rain. So like all these puddles, that's all rainwater from the last couple months. Get pictures of everything you want because you're not coming back down. And we'll meet up at that gate here shortly.
Okay.
Sound down here is wild. All the different, like, you just standing in one spot and me moving around and all the different ways the sound is bouncing.
Yeah.
That's the sound engineer talking.
Run of the jack leg, and if you straddle the jack leg, the bottom can kick out, hit you in the junk, which is what's happening. But what he's imagining right here is the Sultan's harem, and the Sultan. Everyone would have known the Sultan's harem is full of eunuchs. So it's saying that if you straddle the drill, you're gonna get turned into a eunuch. Please hang on to your helmet. Please don't lean on this piece of wood, okay? This wood was put there by college students 20 years ago. So I don't really trust their handiwork with your guys' lives. Stuff I do want to show you guys can scoot back a little bit so you can see better. There's a secret fourth compartment back here. This was also added in 1937. If you shine your light back there, you'll see a rebar ladder. Yep. That ladder is a 2,731 foot ladder. It goes all the way from the collar of the mine to the bottom of the shaft. There's no safety cages. There's no platforms halfway down, anything like that. It's just straight ladder all the way top to bottom. Climbing that out of the 3,200 would be like scaling the outside of a 300-story building.
300-story.
Yeah. Just terrifying, okay? So that's your emergency exit though. This is your hoist bell. You guys remember that hoist operator up there? The guy, your station tender is here. He is going to wait before he can ask for anything until there is a break in the communication. So all the other levels of the mine that are communicating, all those communications come through here. So he has to wait for that dead air, and then he's gonna clear the bell like this. Okay, that's a 212. That's the clear the bell signal. After that, he can say what level of the mine he is working at and what he needs brought down or taken up. Now we've got the chippy. This is the original chippy to this place. It's now secure in the shaft, so you guys can all have a chance to check this out and stand in it. But first, I want to tell you about the chippy ride. So standard load of men in a chippy this size is 8 men. Okay? Now that's the beginning of shift when everybody's going to work. At the end of the shift, when everybody's anxious to get out of the mine, you would have had as many as 11 or 12 guys pile into something like this. Okay? They're going to load you in here. They're going to close the doors on you. You're going to be squished in with 7 other men, and then they're going to drop this cage at a speed of 2,000 feet per minute, about 10 times the speed of a hotel elevator. It is a borderline free fall. You're in total darkness. This thing's banging around. It's making all sorts of noise. And then you're going to get to your shaft station, and hopefully that hoist operator is going to set you in nice and gently. Okay, but maybe he got offended by some of those curse words that got sent up. He could get his revenge by pulling that lever tight and quickly, at which point there's 10 or 15 foot of give in that steel cable above you, and that cage would bounce 7-8 feet in either direction. Okay, that's your Butte commute. All right, so next time you're stuck in traffic, worried about some measly cars, just remember you could be squished in this with some hot, sweaty men going 200 feet per minute or 2,000 feet per minute. Okay, if you want to come get in the chippy, the best way to take a photo, stand in here, turn the lights off, and we'll take a photo with flash on your phone. The other thing to do when you come into the chippy is stand right here at the edge. You can look just on the other side of this timber. It's kind of halfway between the chippy and the platform. You can look up and you can see daylight above you, 65 feet above your head.
Oh, very nice. Wonderful. Let's look at the full light there.
Okay.
So you look down, there's that wood platform. What's that there for?
That was there from the William A. Clark. I will accept your bribes, okay?
Bring a lunchbox down there.
Yeah, no expectation to tip. I'm just grateful we had such a great tour. And I will now let you guys free. The helmets will go into the back of that John Deere wagon when we get up to the surface. And I'll open that closet for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. You take bribes in copper?
No.
Oh, I should get my sunglasses.
What if we just set up a bar tab for you somewhere?
Oh, that'd be very nice. That'd be pretty nice.
तो ये था कॉपर माइनिंग का एक प्रॉपर हिस्ट्री आपने देखी और ये हमने अभी देखा आप सब ने दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा माइन किस तरह ये लोग मेहनत करते थे किस तरह ये लोग काम करते थे और किस तरह निकालते थे सारा कुछ और अमेजिंग वेरी नाइस ये अभी हम इसको कहते हैं शेफ्ट और शेफ्ट के ऊपर हम अभी गए हुए यहाँ से नीचे ये जाता था और वहाँ से ऊपर चीज़ें लेकर आता था
This is an ore house.
और हाउस
O-R-E.
ओके
Yes, not to be confused with.
डब्ल्यू
Oh, let's get a photo.
और भी वाओ कहाँ शिराज कहाँ है यार शिराज किधर है स्पॉट द शिराज कि मफलाज मोड आने अभी ये ना इधर गैस भर गया अभी चलना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा हम आए हैं आउट स्प्रिंग में काफ़ी मज़े का वेदर है और यहाँ एक नेचुरली चश्मा आया हुआ है जिससे ये स्विमिंग पूल बना है और यहाँ स्विमिंग पूल में लोग आते हैं और अपना टाइम गुजारते हैं मैंने तो ज़बरदस्त देखो ज़बरदस्त मैंने गोता मारा और उबैद लोग अभी भी उधर बैठे हुए हैं। बस बहुत फिल्मी वाला माहौल है। तारिक आपने क्यों नहीं नहाया यार?
बस मैं जरा थोड़ा अपसेट था इसलिए नहीं नहाया, वरना जरूर नहाता।
मारा यार जो
खैर है, कोई बात नहीं, फिर नहाएंगे इंशाल्लाह। इधर ही आगे बहुत सारे
हाँ हाँ।